You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 387 for Sunday the 28th of November 2021.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jayne.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are we doing this fine week?
We are doing well. Crazy, crazy time, but we are doing well.
Yes, I just suddenly realised, certainly said 28th of November, we're near that, the kind of countdown month now, aren't we? Soon time to get my chocolate advent calendar out and all will be well with the world.
Do you know what? It's the first year for absolute donkeroonies. I don't have my Christmas tree up at this time of year. It's like, what's happening? Where's my tree? Why is it not up?
Well, I must admit, I'm in a bit of a quandary. I've got most of my decorations are out of the loft. I have rescued my trees from the depths of my garden shed, and I've tested all my outdoor lights. So that's where I am at the moment. Because I had new windows fitted earlier on in the year, I can't do my usual lighting system where I feed very thin wires through the gaps in my windows. Because there are no gaps in my windows anymore, which is lovely. My house is lovely and warm, but I don't know how I'm going to set all my lights up now. So I've been running around like a mad fool this week, coming up with solutions as to what I can and can't do. So I may not have as many lights as I would do normally, but we'll get there.
We will, lovely.
We'll have something. We'll definitely have this by. I think by the time this episode goes out, I think I shall be decked for the season.
Oh, well, I've got my people coming tomorrow to put the windows in as of recording, so I'm hoping my lounge might get some Christmas decorations up as well over the weekend, keeping everything crossed. We haven't got an outside bedecked, lit up area to put out this year because it's the first year we've had a garden for about 3-4 years, so it's a work in progress. Come January sales, I'll be buying big.
So you can plan for next year.
Absolutely. Can't do everything in one day.
No, true.
Talking about days, shall we look back to the past and have we got some bits of history we can share?
Well, it's always good to look to the past so that we can use the past and look forward, she says, trying to sound all very philosophical. I'm not going to go too far back because the only problem with the date in November, the 28th of November, is a lot of the date in history information that I could find relates to Thanksgiving Day, obviously, because it is around that time of year, isn't it? So there's lots of lovely information out there about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and how often Disney have appeared in it and the various different forms it's taken over the years. I did find one quite kind of cute fact to do with Kermit the Frog.
Ooh.
Yeah, because in 2002 they actually had a new Kermit the Frog balloon that debuted at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It was a second version because Kermit first premiered back in the 1977 parade. So he's obviously been floating around for quite a few years in that old parade. It's something we're not really attuned to over here, is it, in the UK? It's not something that we seem to do quite like in America. Anyway, going back a little bit further, 1974, and this was the day that Star Jets opened in Walt Disney World's Tomorrowland. New attraction will serve as a central focal point of this futuristic land. 2 passenger jets can be lowered or raised to a height of 80 feet by guests. And of course, this was then refurbed in 1994 and became Astro Orbiter, as we will all know and love it from. I can't say it's one that has me running to go and experience, but it's there. A birthday in 1987, a British birthday in 1987. Karen Gillan was born in Scotland. Now, I know Karen Gillan, and I'm guessing that you probably know Karen Gillan more for her role in Doctor Who.
I do indeed.
But obviously she also played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. And I'm no doubt she'll be... will she be reappearing? Because did she die? I don't know. I can't remember now. I'm sure somewhere or other they managed to get her character back or some form of other.
Super duper. All sounds very exciting in that history little segment there, Jay. Thank you very much.
Just a little bit.
I'm going to introduce a shopping segment.
Oh, we've not done a shopping segment before, Michelle.
Very excited.
Why have we not done a shopping segment before?
I know. I'm going to get my Christmas list ready, don't worry.
Okay.
I had a little raid at the UK's Primani at the weekend, and oh my word, there are so many cute things. They have, oh my word, a matching sleep suit for Joseph, and then the same print for adults as pyjamas.
Oh,
and it's the
nice.
same print that is the snuddy. So Christmas Day, there will be a picture of Joseph's mummy Emily, and me, all in the same print, Disney pyjamas.
Nice. It's got to be done. It won't be happening in this household, but it's got to be done.
Well, do you know what, Disney? You are missing a trick here. Since you've closed your shops, I have not bought a single thing online. Why? Because I like to be able to pick things up and see what the sizing is like. Now my money is going to Primark, a lot less of it too, because Primark are a lot cheaper, and it's going there because I can buy myself my nice Disney pyjamas, see the sizing, make sure it fits. Like, I bought the gorgeous Jayne, her snuddy, at the weekend, and I was able to find one in a small size so it didn't drown you and look like a bin liner on a stick.
Thanks, love. Yeah. But I must admit, Michelle, the over the course of the last, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks, we've been out into town. I mean, we hooked up, didn't we, in Sheffield at a big outlet, a big outdoor mall place, and I've visited Primark each time because it's kind of like a bit of religion, isn't it? If you're going shopping, you've got to go into Primark because you just don't know what you're going to find. And I have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised that each time I've gone in of late, particularly around the Christmassy stuff, I've seen different things every time I've gone in, which has been really nice, because sometimes you can go in, it's like, oh yeah, nothing's really changed, whatever. But actually, we've nipped in, and I think every time we've popped into Primark recently, I have bought a little bit of something. Obviously, there has been a few non-Disney purchases, but in the main, it has been Disney-fied in some shape or form. And I'm with you. There is something, as much as I love my online shopping, and don't get me wrong, I will do probably the majority of my Christmas shopping will be online. However, there is something about going into a store and seeing things and being able to handle things. And especially when you may be parting with a good chunk of money, like you can do if you're shopping on Shop Disney, I'm sometimes a little bit reluctant to press the enter key and go ahead and buy it, because I'm like, oh, actually, I'd really like to see that up close. Is it worth that amount of money? And like you say, is the fit going to be right? Is it, the right shape or the right style or whatever? So I am with you. I do miss my little Shop Disney or Disney store excursions.
Well, the reason I'm mentioning this is there's a particular company that make jewellery for Disney that I am a big fan of.
Oh, would I know them?
It's Chrysloo.
Oh, okay.
They are quite a well-known American brand, and I've seen them on the cruise line where they do Disney things and non-Disney things, and I've seen them in the shopping malls in America. So I know that they're a well-known brand, and I've got some nice pieces from them, and it looks, really stunning on, and they tend to use it's like a Swarovski style necklace. So they're really nice pieces. They've brought out 3 for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
And there's a necklace and earring, you could call a set. It's like a pocket lock necklace set. So it's got that little T-bar and the hole that you thread it through.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've got
and then it's got a supposed replica of the Cinderella castle with 50 on it, and then it says all the way around the world's most magical celebration, and then the little crystals, and they have some earrings to go with. I like the idea, but personally I wouldn't wear this set myself because the earrings are just too big for me. And I think the necklace, I love the chain, it's quirky and different, but it just, nah. And also the price point, Jayne.
Oh, go on then. I was just going to say, I've just literally found pictures online so I could look at it with as you're describing it, Michelle. I've not got to the price point yet.
Yeah,
Do
well
I
they are.
do I need to scroll down and look or not?
Yeah, well they are sterling 18K gold.
Okay.
The earrings are $250, which is a tad above my price point for this
Wow.
type of something that I'd probably wear once.
Yeah.
The necklace, again, sterling 18 karat gold,
Yeah.
£395.
That's a lot of money to part with.
It makes me quite laugh because it says a golden chain.
A what chain?
A golden chain.
Oh, golden. Is it not gold then? If it's not gold.
Well, it's
Gold.
18 karat sterling.
Yeah.
That means it's not proper real McCoy. And at that
No.
price point, bit too
It
pricey.
needs to be. Yeah. I have to say, Michelle, looking at the photos and from your descriptions, and you saying that obviously they're not kind of appealing to you, they're not very. I want to use the word pretty or feminine.
Yeah, do you know what? I was thinking the same thing myself. Feminine. They're not very feminine. They're not dainty.
Yeah.
They're
No, I
quite
mean,
masculine.
yeah, I mean, I quite like, a bit of chunky jewellery. That doesn't bother me at all. And I've actually got a couple of chains with that sort of pocket watch fastening, which I quite like that. Like you said, the quirkiness of it. I think it's just because it looks quite medallion-y.
Mm.
It's not singing nice to me.
Whereas they've brought out a platinum necklace
Oh, okay.
that's at $350.
Mm.
And it's got the logo, the big 50, and in the 0, which is a bit smaller, there's like, it's meant to look like a castle. On the picture it looks like a blob with a point. Some might say it looks a bit weird, but it looks like a dog tag. That's what struck me straight away with it.
Again, I've just found the same image, and that was exactly the same words that came to me. Now, I actually bought a lot of years ago from Disney World, and it wasn't it wasn't this expensive. It was like, in your $20 range fashion jewelry. It wasn't posh stuff, but it was actually in the shape of a dog tag. But on the actual dog tag itself, it had, I think it was a heart, a Mickey head, and something else. And they were done with like little fake diamonds sort of thing. So it was prettified, if that makes sense. Whereas this one looks a bit functional, shall we say.
I personally think they're cute. They're not something I'd buy, and I think Chrysalie have done a lot better with other things, like the big hidden Mickey style necklace I've got, or the hooped earrings, things like that. The price point was under $100, and I think that for me is an investment piece that I wear quite frequently. These, I wouldn't wear these.
No, they kind of strike me more as the commemorative stuff that you buy and it sits in a tin somewhere and gets forgotten about.
Yeah, and Gav's the old duster-rooney. So, yeah. Anyway, we are going to talk a little bit about what has happened with regards to D23.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of happening last weekend, wasn't it?
So we've got a few things that we want to run through, talk about. I must admit, some of the details are a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, there was lots of, I suppose, highlights, but without a lot of meat on the bone.
Absolutely. For example, the Avengers campus over in Disneyland Paris has now got an opening date.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh then, but...
Well, when they say date, it's more like a season.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, it's summer 22, isn't it?
Yeah. Although, technically, if you're an Australian and somebody says summer 22, it could be December.
It could indeed, couldn't it? And I think this is what always gets me when they go, oh, yes, we're opening in spring whenever. And you're like, well, okay, what's your definition of spring compared to my definition of spring? Yeah. And that means summer could run an awfully long time, couldn't it?
Yeah, and our summer traditionally can be a bit different. June, July, August is our summer.
Yeah, that's what I would be thinking.
But it's nice to know Disneyland Paris is going to have a big burst of Avenger excitement in the style of what's already open over in Disneyland in California. So we'll see. It would be nice to see there's some eateries coming that way with some themed food that is actually themed that look like the characters as well.
Yeah, so
Wookie cookie.
I know there's no mention of it, but Pim's Kitchen over there would be fab, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But even getting decent food there would be fab.
True.
Coming to Epcot, there is a brand new eatery called Connections Cafe and Eatery. So this is classic Disney. Here is some concept art. This is what it could look like. It might not. It might, but I'm not going to let you know. And it's going to be open at some point. There's no timeline. There's no specific location, apart from it's going to be in the World Celebration neighbourhood.
Yeah, I need to get my head around all these new names for the different parts, so I can't figure out where they all sit now in relation to what was there. No.
I'm going to Future World. No, you're not. There's no such thing as Future World.
It's now these 4... Is it 4 areas?
Yeah. I'll worry about that later. But there is good news for Walt Disney World fans.
Okay, what we got?
Fantasmic and the Festival of Fantasy Parade are returning soon.
Yeah, soon. Yeah. But at least they're returning.
True. Now, to me, soon is when's dinner ready? Soon. Yes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not going to be that soon, is it?
We shall wait and see if it's going to be turning up in 20 minutes' time.
I don't think it will, Michelle, somehow.
Boo. Now, because Walt Disney World are getting Fantasmic, it's only fair that Disneyland get their Fantasmic too.
Of course, and they're getting World of Colour coming back as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it does say that there will be some slight changes to Fantasmic before it reopens.
Yes, I'd heard little rumours about replacing with some Moana and Frozen and other bits, I think.
So bringing the princess range up to date so they can sell more merch.
Oh, that's a cynical view, Michelle.
Ooh, cynical. Ooh, I'm in one of those moods today, Jayne.
It might be a bit close to the truth, but yes, still cynical.
Yeah. We are getting a castle stage show back in Walt Disney World over at the Magic Kingdom. Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair is opening, slightly changed, with a new song, opening number, finale, and updated costumes because it's the never-ending 50th Fantasy Fair. One that makes me a bit worried though. They've re-announced. How many times are they going to re-announce this? Because they keep going on about it. That yet again, some businesses in the Disneyland resorts, downtown Disney, are going to close because there's going to be a huge expansion.
Yeah, or big revamps supposedly happen. But like you say, Michelle, we've had this news that before, haven't we?
Yeah, and the thing that worries me about this is I love Earl of Sandwich. How many times are we going to be told it's going to be closed and then it reopens? Don't leave us. We need your sandwiches.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, great that they're recognising, or wanting to do a revamp, but, just be careful what you do.
It does say there's going to be a big lawn to relax on. Yeah, I'd like to relax on it with my Earl of Sandwich, please. Can you make that happen?
Well, it's very nice having a relaxing area, but we also want shops and restaurants.
Yeah. There's going to be a really nice Disneyland DVC tower. Brilliant if you've got DVC. It's just not financially viable for a lot of British people to have a DVC because of the exchange rate at the moment being a lot lower than it was a fair few years ago when you were getting $2 for the price of one.
Oh, heady memories.
I know. Anyway, gripes over. New shows coming to the Disney Wish cruise ship. Yay.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be The Little Mermaid, a special version, and very excited about the Seize the Adventure. Now, that isn't seize as in grab, it's seize as in the big blue seas.
Yes, a little play on words, I fear, going on there.
Disney love their play on words, don't they, lovely?
Of course.
Now, something new. Hey Disney.
Oh, is this like Alexa type thing, but for Disney?
So I'm going to be lounging in the bed, nodding off to sleep, and I imagine I'll be able to shout, "Hey Disney, bring me a Mickey bar," and then 5 minutes later someone turns up at the door with a Mickey bar.
Why do I have a sneaky feeling that's probably not how it's going to work?
No. Hey Disney, I'd like to pay $15 to book a lightning lane to get on Rise of the Resistance.
Maybe.
Oh, could be. It's very interesting, though, to see if they are going to be using technology, like you mentioned, the Alexa style thing, to turn the lights down, to turn the lights off, to turn the TV on, to turn the coffee maker on. That would be really good, because I'm really lazy in the morning. Hey, Disney, can I have a latte? But yeah, in my wacky brain, I envisaged being able to order something from the food cart and it turn up at the door.
Well, you never know, Michelle. Perhaps somebody somewhere is listening to this little old podcast and thought, "Oh, that would be a good idea."
Well, you never know. You never know. And it's really nice to see that this technology is happening and Disney are finally embracing the 21st century with it. You know, we said ages ago when the magic bands came out that, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be able to use your smartphone?
Yeah, and eventually.
And talking of magic bands, they're going to be filtering their way over to Disneyland.
Finally, how long has that taken?
Yeah, we shall see how they evolve and how they are going to be utilised over there. Still talking about Walt Disney World? Finding Nemo, the musical, at Animal Kingdom is going to have a new name and a slightly modified show.
I am glad something's coming back there because I did love the old Finding Nemo show. And I love the fact that it's actually called The Big Blue and Beyond, which means that the Big Blue Sea song's going to still be in it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, toes crossed.
Big blue world.
Because that just gets me going every time.
Yeah, it basically says favourites from the show will stick around, but the storyline will be different. So I'm wondering if they're bringing in elements of Finding Dory.
Possibly, yeah.
Hinting forward into another film in the franchise.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, to combine?
Spin-off characters, you never know. You never know. There's going to be the biggest Disney cavalcade of characters next year called Disney's Adventure Friends Cavalcade as well. We love a good cavalcade.
Yeah, I was musing on this. So what's the difference between a cavalcade and a parade?
From what I've seen, a cavalcade is like, you know when you have a tap and you turn it on and it's not been turned on for a while and the water just starts spitting out of the tap intermittently?
Yes.
Right. That's my analogy to make you understand a cavalcade, because every now and again they release a parade float and it sort of spurtles its way and then there's a big gap and then another one spat out. Bit like me tap.
Right.
That's
okay.
that. I don't know. That's what I think. Whereas a parade, I think it's more seamlessly flowing of interconnected floats and a theme, whereas the cavalcades don't tend to be connected. The shorter, not as many float type things. I don't know.
Interesting. So I'm not really aware. Are these actually planned in, or do they just appear when they feel like it? I'm not 100% sure. So it'd be interesting to see if that, I don't know.
I think a parade is more scheduled and a cavalcade is just, surprise, we're a cavalcade.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If that means we get more characters and more things more often, then I'm all up for that.
And I think it's a way of addressing the fact that in-person character cuddles might not be back for a while yet. Yeah,
it is nice to see different places that are now reopening, but everything is still at a distance, isn't it?
You're starting to see, your characters. You're able to meet Mickey Mouse at the town hall now, things like that. But again, it's that, here's a rope, stay your side, we'll stay our side. Things like that, thinking ahead to character meals, having that social distance between us, but still able to sort of try and get a selfie with them in the background without somebody in the background as well with a mouth open of food, which we all know Michelle loves. Not
so much.
Yeah, so that was quite an interesting proposal with the cavalcades and parades, and there was no announcement about Paint the Night, so I was quite upset about that.
Yeah, because obviously we've got the electrical parade returning to Disneyland for its 50th, so we knew that was kind of happening because we've seen all the little bits of leaks on TikTok and the like, so that's now confirmed. So it's a shame they're not confirming a nighttime parade at Disney World, especially with it being the 50th anniversary. You'd have thought after these years of not having something, it would have been an ideal time to bring something, whether it's a new show or a repackaged version of what we've had elsewhere. And say Paint the Night would be the obvious choice, would it not?
And just think of all the money that they can make by selling the paintbrushes that they can interact with the parade vehicles. That's my selling point, Disney. Merch, merch, merch.
Well, you would think, as Mr. Chapek, as Mr. Merch King, that that would be something that would push it forward, really.
Yeah, you can have paint the night ice creams, you can have paint the night ice cream floats, you can have paint the night flavoured Dole Whip. They'll come up with something.
Of course they will.
Last but not least, Jayne, Cosmic Rewind is going to open in Epcot summer 2022, and we even got to see the vehicle with people sat in it, and it actually looks fairly roomy.
Yeah, and again, another summer 22 release date.
So I'm thinking quite happily to myself now, chortle, that there will be some new things for me to see. However, in all of these announcements, there was a big thing that did not get announced. We don't seem to have a very clear set of information about Tron.
No, that's very true, because there's lots of work still going on, and it isn't a canopy going in now at the moment. So it would imply that Guardians is going to open before Tron, if they've not announced a date for Tron. And you'd have thought Destination D23 would have been an ideal opportunity to have mentioned something, or at least.
Now, I know on the Disney Dish, Lane Tester was sort of saying, originally 2023 for this, but they're sort of now sort of pulling it forward and maybe thinking it might be around in 2022. But would they open such an amazing attraction at the same time as the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction?
Well,
they like to tend to space these things out to Disney to try and get crowds a reason to come back. So they may open the Guardians one at the beginning of summer, and then Tron maybe hopefully towards the end of summer when Michelle's there. Please, Bob.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things originally, it should have been open by now, if I'm right in thinking. Because obviously it was touted as being, these attractions were all supposed to be here ready to celebrate the 50th anniversary, weren't they? So you would like to think, that they want to get these attractions open within this time frame of celebrating at the very least, which I suppose if we're taking 18 months from, October, it does take us into the early part of 2023, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just seems to have taken forever to build this thing.
Yeah, especially as it's it's a known system because it's already obviously in existence elsewhere. So it's not like they're having to do everything brand new. It is a known phenomenon that they're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, we will keep our breath bated and we will see what happens on that. So that basically is a quick run through D23. Having been to a D23 over in Anaheim a few years ago, I don't think I have the stomach to sit in the lines and wait for that. So if you were one of the content providers that shared, thank you. Never again, Jayne.
Because obviously with I think, does the tickets go on sale for D23 next year in January, I think? I want to say I've seen somewhere.
Not happening.
No.
Not going. No. Not happening. Anyway, thank you guys for listening in. We really do appreciate your support, sharing the show, reviewing us, and commenting and contacting us. We always love to hear from you. info@disneydreamgirls.com. Over on our Facebook page, Disney Dream Girls Podcast Family. Come and join the family. Have lots of fun and share lots of Disney with each other. If you want additional content from us, go to patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls because we have got a fabaroony episode hitting the airwaves any minute now, all about the eateries available in Epcot with a few giggles along the way. Don't forget, you can also find us on Instagram and Twitter @DisDreamGirls. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.